Hello, everyone. So, for those that don't know, well, I guess welcome. Hopefully, everybody comes in just a few minutes. We are going to go through Anchor issue busting. So, for those that are not familiar with it or haven't gone through and helped out with the previous streams, what we're going to do is we have 350 odd issues on the GitHub repo. We want to make sure that we have as close to zero issues as possible. So we need to figure out how can we lower the amount of issues that we have. So I'm going to share my screen and also good morning, unit. I'm going to actually let's just do this real quick so I can put the chat up and I can see without having to look over on the side every time. All right, we have it ready. Cool. So let me just put out a post about this so that people know that this is happening. We got it ready. Good morning, everyone. Let's see. We'll just post this. Okay, cool. Let me share my screen. Good morning, Alexander. I see that you've joined here too as well. If you want to chat and you're on X or Twitter, as many people call it, what you can do is you can click into the broadcast and then you can type. This is also live on Twitch as well as on YouTube. So if you want to go find those, you can go for it. So let me share my screen and we can get through it. Also, it'd be fun. I don't know if we can I overlay it. Yeah, I think let's overlay it. So we have everybody. Good morning. Good morning. It's 3 a.m. My goodness. Okay. That. All right. Wow. All right. So let's do scene and I'll share my screen and you can get through it. Entire screen. It's going to be this one. Boom. All right. So we are live and this is just Twitter, right? So that people can go and look at Twitter. All right. So here we are. We have the anchor issues. And let me overlay the chat again. Good morning, everyone. It's not a good, can I maximize it? Not a very good profile. Trying to figure out the chat overlay. Not the biggest fan. Let's remove the chat overlay and minimize this. Sorry, we're slight stream difficulties. We'll make it though. Too many guys. All right. So I'm assuming people can see this. And also before I get started, let me close Slack and Telegram so people don't see all my messages. You can leave open Discord though. But okay. So first off, I kind of wanted to talk about uh, Discord. So if people that are not familiar, there is an Anchor Discord, and we kind of changed some things. There's now this wearing a tie. I'm not wearing a tie. This is my mic. Um, maybe I should go get a tie. That would make it much more enjoyable, right? Anyways, we have the Anchor Discord. If people, we are kind of renovating it right now. So if people want to join, it is actually a lot different. You can see there's a lot less channels actually. There's only like immediately questions, contributors looking for a group, violations, your GitHub thing, and common issues. That's it. To make it easy. And we might even make this less, but we'll find out. So if you want to join, happy to. Let's go chat. But anyways, let's start going through some issues. Thank you, Katie, for joining. I'm surprised you joined on. Yes, it's a Wednesday. All right. So basically, what we have is we have a project board, and for those that want to contribute, we have a project board that is being opened for Anchor 1.0. Can anyone send the Discord link? Let's see if I can send it actually. Invite people. We got a link, and we're gonna throw it into. We're just gonna see this live. There we go. We're gonna send it into the chat. Boom! Everybody can see that. All right, cool. Uh, so we have this GitHub board that's kind of going through and getting a bunch of issues. It has even more, or soon will have more issues with Anchor 1.0. The idea is we get these things done and then we can release 1.0. I need to update this a little bit because there's some things that are actually in progress, like this one is in progress, but some of these other ones are not. I would love to have them happen. All right, so let's just go through it. I should start busting these issues. So Git provider uses window object whenever no description. Should use window object when running in browser. Nah, we're just going to close this. Not planned. We can figure that out. If it is an issue, we can do that later. Blocked. Don't pass program. That is an actual issue. On program change API. Just going to do this live. We're going to do this for about up to 30-ish minutes. Then we'll be done. Okay, so this is on program account change API for distillers accounts. Great. So there's something about describe map to serialize. I think this already happens. This works. Used by Anchor, uses filters on program change. We should be fine. I'm going to do not planned. It's actually, I think, completed, but we'll move on. Support multiple connections in the Anchor program. When connecting an RPC pool, if the server you're connected to falls behind it and is marked unhealthy, you'll redirect any traffic going to it and disconnect GM Andre. They will disconnect and reconnect to what is it? Existing servers. Okay, so this is just the RPC problem. Let's actually just open up in a Scala draw just so that people don't know can go through it. There's that picture that I sent earlier. You can see I just do everything on a Scala draw. It kind of just sprawls over down to the left. All right, so we'll go up here. Yeah, we'll go right here. So people don't know whenever you're client side connecting. So this is you. You're a client or whatever. Whenever you're connecting to an RPC, they're actually a load balancing amongst multiple RPC nodes. At least this is common. This is not always the case. I'm sure there's some other people that are doing different things, and there's going to load balancer in front of it. Sometimes, whenever you hit an RPC node, say this one is 10 slots behind. We'll make this one 100 slots behind. And this one over here is going to be, I don't know, 1,000. It's bad. And then finally, there's one over here that is, I don't know, let's just do like 300. What happens is you have all these slots behind, and you actually want people with like the most recent slot, because otherwise it's likely your transaction's not going planned, because a transaction is valid for 150. I think it's on 150 slots. I always get mixed up. But yeah, so it's valid for that long. And what happens is whenever your block hash is no longer valid, it's killed. I believe it's actually 150 blocks for 150 block height. So what you should see is like these two nodes be kicked off, and so that you can't hit it anymore, and you would go to the other RPC nodes. I don't think this is an issue that should be fixed on the Anchor side. This is more of an issue on the infrastructure side, that this load balancer should just be aware, context aware, and understand which ones to be. There's also the case a lot of the stuff on the, what is it? A lot of stuff in JavaScript client side will be fixed as well, to where you can just make sure that uh, you're not getting an RPC with older than X block hash, right? So you should be fine. So clarity is not vague. So yeah, they're just talking about they're talking about WebSockets. This person used to do stuff on Anchor. I wonder if they're still around. Good morning, everyone. GM. I like that everybody's joining. This is gonna be a short stream. We'll have a longer stream tomorrow morning. All right. So this is not something. Yeah. Okay. Standard for load balance by demand instead of region. Yeah, we're just gonna. It's an infrastructure problem. It's not going to be a client side problem. It's basically fixed at the client side at this point. Add a parallel option in anchor test. We should provide the ability to run test files in parallel, where each test file runs against its own version of Solana Test Validator. Its own version of Solana Test Validator. I'm going to say this is not going to be done because this what we're going to do with this one is instead we're going to run against we're going to run light SVM or Mollusk, which does not run on light Solana Test Validator. And then Solana Test Validator will be used for client-side testing instead, and not for like unit test. All right, Lang has owner. It's convenient to be able to statically assert the owner address and account info. Facilitated this current account owner equals target constraint can take a pub key instead of an account target. Target API is also renamed to has owner. Isn't this already a case? Am I hallucinating? I think this is already a thing. I'm gonna put it as investigate. We can look at this later. But I believe it's already a thing, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it's already a thing. All right, next one. Cool. Skip deploy causes anchor workspace to be undefined. This is done by Lifto. Wow. It's an old contributor, a really good contributor. Skip deploy is not defined. It appears to be the error. Okay. Sure. It will work. Attempt it. So this person says like, hey, it'll still work. I'm going to do investigate. We can see if it's actually an issue. I don't think it's an issue anymore, though. All right, anchor test to point to the new local net if there's already a Solana node running. Currently, if I run Solana test validator and then anchor test will run. We use the running node instead of prompting, but it'll only use it if you skip. If you skip the, like, it won't work if you just. Yeah, this will only work if you skip local test validator. I didn't believe this is actually skipping local test validator, so it'd be fine. Let's see. There's CLI prompt. So someone, Anushk, tried taking up the issue. He's tried creating a new local net. I don't think we're going to do this. I think that's fine. I think it's fine the way that it is. We can, if it's needed later, we can think about it later. But I don't think it's a thing that we care about right now, especially not for V1. So Lang account macro should provide an informative error when invalid args are given. Size equals 1, 2, 3, 4, which is not the max size. Should error. Let's see. Make a namespace explicit. Yeah, this okay. Yeah, this could be a thing. I don't know if it's like a requirement, but it's like a nice to have, right? This would be really like a low priority, not a high, definitely not a high priority type of item, but a low priority item. I don't know if it's a requirement for V1 though. We can just skip that out though. Add a new program ID macro, which replaced program ID or declare ID with program ID. Except for, okay, so added Hacktober. Interesting. Added Hacktoberfest. This is actually a pretty interesting option. Try killing declare ID and move it into the program macro. So this, oh look, the name I haven't seen in a while. That's Alan. Yeah, Alan. I wonder what's Alan's up to nowadays. Yeah, I don't think this when no clear. So yeah, declare ID still exists. We might need to. It would be nice to have. I think what we're going to do is we're going to put this as a nice to have, but I don't think we do it immediately. This is a priority. I mean, it would be really nice, right? Uh, I'll put a priority 0. Cool. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Program is not very helpful when there is a program error. In the CLI, look or wanna when making a CLI using program, the feedback. In addition, we should be able to skip pre-flight. At the moment, it does not seem like there's a way to do that. Oh, this is just with the program, right? Um, will allow skipping pre-flight. Okay, but it was never merged. Um, yeah, this is nice. I'm gonna check if this is going to be like this is not hard, right? This is on the CLI, if I'm not mistaken. Um, yeah, this is on the CLI. So it's well, it's no, that's what the client side. When making a CLI using Anchor program, you, yeah, I would put priority of it's a low priority item and it's a nice to have, right? But it's not a requirement. I think I'm surprised it didn't allow skipping pre-flight. We need to figure out what's going on there. Feature requests allow user to specify the CWD of a project. Current respect. Okay, sure, that's fine. I think we have this actually. Do we have this today? I think we don't we have set workspace? Let's see. This is me decompiling earlier. Nobody look. I'm only decompiling programs. Yeah, a little bit. There we go. There's some music in the background, so it's not a very boring stream. Um, yeah, we also need to fix this. This is an issue. It's a warning, but it's kind of a pain. But anyways, it's actually too loud. I have custom music tomorrow, I think. Cool. So this is Anchor Set Workspace. I think we have this. So let's go look at what this looks like. So this is this anchor dot set. No, we do not have this. Can you change the provider? Anchor dot set. Let's say set wallet. No, this is anchor provider. How do I change the workspace? It's a constant. Yeah, let's go look at the implementation of this. We might have to go look at the implementation of actually on this. I'm actually curious because I don't know what it looks like. All right, so let's go look at the workspace. This is Canonically workspace. It's in TypeScript. There we go. So let's see if it allows you to change it. New proxy, get workspace cache with program. Yeah, override the workspace of the program. So it allows you, okay, so so you can put it in the config and it will override it. That seems okay. I think I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. That's done. This is done. I don't know when it was done, but it was done at some point in my life. Using args. Any issues that for the audience that is watching? Any issues that people run into often with Anchor? And GM, thanks for the awesome stream. We're working on it. We're seeing how it goes. Surprised how many people are actually here. All right, then the struct using composite produces instruction did not deserialize. Okay. So dummy A dummy B, composite update, initialize. So he has a nested composite struct. Okay, cool. I'm not sure. Let's put investigate. Good to see Noah in this though. 171. I don't think those are active viewers, but always be happy to see if they are. All right, next one. Let's refresh this. We're getting through it. Investigate. Using recent block hashes gives an error. Program consumed. Yeah, this is not an issue. Oh my goodness. This is Rohan though. This ghost, is that the real ghost? Deleted user. Okay, so it's not even a real user anymore. We all want to know how the OG framework develops. You're just watching this, Berg? Berg, you should just join me. You want to invite Berg to come to this thing? I don't think I can actually send you because I'm screen sharing and everything. So they're providing. Okay, so they're doing something with their provider URL. That's interesting. Yeah, it sounds like this is not an issue, right? Let's see what Arowana says. It might happen in localhost. Maybe Rex. I don't think this is an issue. We're going to close it. How was this? Thanks for the code. It worked. Okay, so they just. Okay, so it's not a problem. We all want Berg. Does Berg want to join? Allow Anchor migrate to access cluster. Useful as different networks have different deployment requirements. Need to yeah. Okay. Cool. Expose the cluster in private. Yeah, I think this is good. However, we're not going to do it. Closing in favor of moving to TXTX in the future. Yeah, we're not going to have migrate in the future. It's going to be, or at least it's going to be different. But we'll get there. Conditional constraints. One supply constraints. The only way to do this is inside the instruction handler. This exists. There are conditional operators inside the Derive accounts. There are some already. I'm going to close this because there are some today. Well, it's also very vague of like what are the conditional constraints. So we're just not going to care that much. Add new attribute init tombstone that allows one to opt in to reinitializing an account when the tombstone was set. Okay, so they have an account that they basically want to reinitialize. Yeah, well, this is too much. We're not going to plan this because this is very troublesome to do that. Wow, security feature. Do people want this? Wait, do people actually want this? Allows one to opt in to reinitialize an account when the tombstone was set. Add an attribute, account init tombstone that allows one to opt into. Here, I'll just mark this one. I'll reopen it and I'll ask the experts at a later date. I'm going to just put this in another place so we can get through that. Yeah, Nariman, if you have preferences on this one, I'm not actually. Maybe I'm not fully understanding this requirement. All right, let's move on to the next one. We can move on to that. Anchor TS code does not handle option for zero copy accounts. I'm facing the same error. Someone did something here. I'm going to put investigate. I don't know if it's actually a thing. Let's see if someone wants to help out with that one. Init on large loader types goes beyond stack size. Okay, sure. When trying to use, so this is Dr. Blocks. Good to see him. When using where the account data size goes beyond stack size, the program produces warning logs that will exceed using the zero annotation. Okay, so this is not related to Anchor. This is actually related to Solana. Or at least I think it is. Well, it's tangentially related to Anchor. It's not directly related to Anchor. The init does do a bunch of things on the stack size that are very painful, but it is a lot. Ask Squad's team to update to the latest version. I mean, I can. Why don't you just tweet at them? Tweet at Orion. That'll work. That's what I usually do. Okay. So loader, yeah, I don't think this is an issue with Ank itself. Dr. Blocks will tell me if it is later on a later date, but we'll be fine. Implement close account straight. Isn't this already implemented? Get an arrow to try to, hey, look, it's Henry. Close and reclaim rent from a token account. Ideally, the would be for all CPI accounts. The challenge? Okay, well that, yeah, for all CPI accounts. Yeah, I don't know if there's a thing. So there, he just found there's the close function. See if this is supported yet. A year and a half later, or a year and 3 months later. Let's see what the referenced PR says. So they're saying it, and this is Henry saying, please, let's add it. And then we closed it. Okay. Did the close constraint ever get support from CPI accounts like token accounts? Not sure. Let us investigate. I gotta move faster. We got 300. Is it really 330? 331? We're making it. Implement close. Isn't this what I just added the investigate to? Did it not work? Interesting. I feel like these streams are a lot more fun when you get people to chat with as well, but it's all good. Cargo test BPF. Should be an educational example. No. No more examples in the Anchor repo. We're going to move all examples elsewhere. Remove deprecated account constraints. Belongs to and raw literal. Is this still a... Sounds good to me. Okay, cool. So did these ever get removed? Oh, there's actually a PR to get it done in Project Serum. What? Interesting. It's quite interesting that you kind of like run down memory lane with these types of things. Let's see what we have here. We have a lot of people that are trying to contribute, but they're not able to contribute. Closing a stale. This is wow. Armani was closing a bunch of stale in 2024. That's nice of him. That's very nice of him. I think this is still existing. This is still an issue. So we are going to... We're going to put... I think this is still a problem. So this is a good first issue. Help wanted. Yep, this is all those things. We're going to put this as a priority 3. So this is part of like the V1 1.0 blockers. We want to remove deprecated issues. So that is it's a priority 3. Given that the blocker will do a priority 2. It shouldn't be that hard if someone's to actually implement this. Deprecated from V11. That's a long time ago. I don't even think I used Anchor back then. It might already be deprecated, but we'll find out. Deploys when target. All right, so they're curious that we got fixed. So the code base is hardening target everywhere. Let's see. I think this is okay. We're gonna close this one, not planned right now. We can reopen it if it's actually an issue later. Let's see. Add instructions to the README contributing on how to Anchor can be built and tested. Yes, this is something I need to happen. This is something I need to do this week, tonight. This is going to be assigned to myself. It is documentation, but it's going to be my thing to do. Laying possibly elsewhere, removing all remaining program infos from account infos. Let's say much of the work is done in 522. Don't pass program account. What's going on with macros is different than just doing Rust. It's like extra language on language. So a lot of people pass on it, unfortunately. Guessing this is on the previous issue. For the deprecated account constraints, is that what you're saying? Macros are cool. There's a workshop if anyone wants to learn macros. Yeah, sure, Berg. I don't know which issue you're talking about, but yeah, sure. All right, so some instance where program ID is not taken into CPI context. I have no idea, but let's find out. All right, we can investigate that one. Implementation of tuple and tuple structs in the ITL. This is actually a thing still, I think. Oh, wait. Is this not a thing anymore? Let's see. Oh, my goodness. Thanks, Acheron, for making this massive PR. There we go. Look, tuples. Should be fixed at this point. Cool. Fixed in 2824. This is the right one. Yep. Surprised it didn't get closed. Remove deprecated stuff. Account was easily removed, but hard to find the logic for the macros. Harder. Yeah, anything that messes with the macro is going to be very. So I'm just reading through the chat. Anybody messing with the macro, I'm going to need a lot of reviews on this. So we'll get to those, though. That's going to be, for those people that don't know. Yeah, any changes to the macro, I'm going to have to get a lot of people to review to those. I'm not actually too familiar with the code of the macros itself. I've looked at the accounts one a little bit, so I know roughly what it does, but I would not say I'm an expert at it. But we're going to get through it, right? Tuples are great. Yeah, they exist. All right, generate unchecked variants for CPI methods. Generate unchecked variants for, okay, invoke sign unchecked instead of evoke sign. The skip the ref call checks and save some execution units. Yeah, that would be nice. Running out of either memory. This would be awesome to have. Yeah, let's do I'll put nice to have, but I would like to have this as a higher priority than a low priority type of thing. This does sound like a lot of work, but it is just a helper function. So like, hey, this might be something that people want to help on. Allow skipping instruction deserialization. Sure. You can do this with the fallback method. Here's an example of doing it. Okay, I didn't know. So just document it is what it looks like. I like it. It could be done reserves. I don't think we need. In my use case, pass through the data as raw. Still using anchor context. Follow the skeleton code. It's less convenient though because the generate account context isn't in the IDL. Cool. So it's not in the IDL. I mean, is it interesting? Yes. Receive the payload as undecoded byte slice. That way you can implement. Yeah, you know what? So I didn't know you could actually do this. Looking at this, let's look at how he did this with Sarah. So he just pulled in the accounts under, what is that? What is default? Programs, misc, source, lib. So he just pulled in the accounts and he's just pulling in the data. Interesting. Okay. Undocumented construction. Looks like, okay, so I think this is still an issue. This would be nice to have, so I'm going to put a priority of 2. I don't know if it's something that we'll end up having, but we will get through it. Cool. All right, improved loader interface. Probably not going to happen. There's a loader type in account loader used for zero copy. Uses a different API. Yes, it does, but that's okay, I think. It's not cost-free. Yep, that's true. Hey, look at this. Cute. So it changes. Oh, we got a starry fix. Let's see. Is this closed? That's hilarious. It's closed. So we're good there. Could you sign your local commits? Force push. It would be a good idea to sign commits. We don't actually sign commits today, I think. Let us. I think we're going to close this and just be with the improvement that was given by Starry. This was actually completed recently. Get hooks. We shouldn't use Clippy in a hook. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think we're going to close this one for now. It's not very useful. All right, so what are we at? 325. All right, so we're getting down. Next one. npm.js package does not display a README. Still occurring. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Let's see. What does it look like? What does it look like? Yep, nothing in README. But we also haven't deployed this. So let's look at Coral XYZ. Look in the anchor. Not much of a README at all. We probably should make this an actual README. It's not like. So we're going to put this as documentation. This is also going to be. Let's see. Priority. This is a low priority item. It's not a blocker, but it's a nice to have, right? I'm going to assign it to myself so that I know to look at it later. It's actually a good point. I think one thing that we did really well last time with Robert is we looked at all the document. We looked at all of one label, and we closed all of them. So if I want to look at documentation, because a lot of these are probably like create example X or whatever, we should get rid of them. So someone's asking if that's a good first issue. Which one was that? That was. I mean, yeah, I guess it's a good first issue. It just needs a README, but I don't want someone to just AI generate like a README. We need something that's actually good for this. So I kind of would like to write it myself, or have someone that's very good to write it. Could be a good first issue if someone wants to take a stab at it. I'll take a PR for it if it's good, but I don't want people to just like AI generate a README. Which if I put that and say do a good first issue, that's what's going to happen. There's just going to be a bunch of good people just generating a bunch of stuff. Trying to avoid that. All right, so that one's going to be closed because we did a document redesign. Add section to create your own program for program T. Verifiable builds don't have to be. Yep, we changed verifiable builds, so that's not a thing. Typed account section. We're going to close this for these things. And we also have token extensions constraints, is my understanding. Well, maybe not. I'll double check that. Let's check this one real quick. Yes. Token constraints were added in. That's nice to have. Documentation. So we should have. Oh, look at me. This is actually me just a couple months ago too. Yeah, this is a good first issue. This one's a good first issue. PRs welcome. There's a lot of just random stuff here. We're going to do a priority 3. It's a low priority. It's nice to have, but we don't have it today. It's definitely not a blocker or anything. All right, so that was all the documentation ones. Well, let's just double check just to make sure. Currently own, so typed account section, for example, mint and token account. Let's say Did John Adam? Thanks for thanks. Happy to have you around it. Let's see. Do we have typed accounts? I don't think we have tokens. So we have the basics and extensions. It has some information. So we do have some of the typed account stuff. I think we should be okay here. Yeah, we have something. This is completed. This is probably completed with like the big redesign that we had of the docs earlier this year. There was a lot of work being done in it. So add constants namespace. Removing proprietors until used. Yeah, if someone wants this, they can have it, but I'm not going to plan it right now. No one. There's actually a constant spot in there already. Ran into a little bit of difficulty. Imported account structs not deserializing property. It's possible necessary. Okay, so this is already an issue. So we're going to close this as duplicate of composite. Where's the composite issue? This was Noah. Where's Noah? Chewing glass. There we go. You can find more issue in the SPL docs. You would just duplicate an anchor. Yeah, but SPL docs. So the thing is, like, anchor docs are. All right, let me just put this real quick and close this before I forget. So the thing is, so for those that don't know, here's the comment. I'll show it on stream. There we go. All right, so they can find more info on SPL docs about Mint and that stuff. So yes, it's duplicating it, but distribution is like king, right? And there's also a lot of typed structs that are being built in like SPL token for Anchor. It's like Anchor SPL or whatever. So that I think it's okay. But if you look at like, so for example, like if you try to find SPL docs, you're going to go to solanaprogram.com. It says like no distribution, like nobody's going to this thing ever, which is, while it is okay on docs, right? It's not the greatest, it's okay. If you go to actually solana.com docs, there are extension docs being built out, right? That have end-to-end examples. And I would say actually Blueshift does a really good job of this in their documentation. They had a really good Token 2022 documentation for all the extensions. Like this is actually really good. I'm very happy with some of this. Ultimately, like, distribution is king, right? Blueshift, out of all these three things, Blueshift has the least distribution. Meanwhile, like, these other docs places have higher distribution. So we should at least get the best where the most eyes are, right? The more likely someone's able to find it will be great. So referencing those docs, yeah, you could reference those docs. That's true. I'm just trying to get where it's highly likely for these people to find these docs to begin with. But yeah, you can reference them. But the thing is, what I found is that people don't click links in docs. So we're back to square one. All right, cool. Going back to this, laying possibly. Okay, these are all the things I already look at. Missing instruction data leads to wrong error. QuickNode has great docs. Yes, QuickNode does have great docs. In the TS client, when you forget to add instruction data, yeah, instead of, okay, so they forgot an org. Foo is not provided. Found the issue. Cool. Fixing this is not straightforward. This is in TypeScript, right? Okay, cool. Oh my goodness. Look at all this. Investigate. Is it still an issue? For later. All right. Feature init account on conditional if expression is true. This already exists, right? So they're talking with Alan. They literally just copied their chat logs. How today is not in that user. Yeah, I feel like if you want to do this kind of thing, you just have to, let's see, init expression. I mean, it's pretty nice. I'm putting $1,000 bounty on this issue. Buyer. Arami and ready to merge, um, I will pay $1,000. I mean, if you want to, go for it, I guess. Putting a 30-day timer. Okay, so it's already gone. You wait a few weeks. All right, so in an if expression, I mean, it's pretty cool, but my goodness, would this come up with a whole bunch of, yeah, a bunch of foot guns. Um, yeah, I'm going to close this one. I don't think we're going to do it. If you really wanted to do this, you just do it yourself. Allow PDAs to be used as pairs. This is another issue. This guy is just throwing money everywhere. Milk Duds Pro, dude. There's some code in this PR. We'll go through the PR. Allow PA. Okay, well, I think what we'll do is we'll stop here. Sounds like a duplicate of Tombstone. Yeah, that's why we removed it. All right, so let me stop sharing my screen and we can just go through this. Look at all that. There's the chat log. All right, well, thank you everyone for joining today's stream. I think we're going to end it here, and we do have another stream. If you look at the streams tomorrow, there's a stream tomorrow morning, or I guess depending on what time frame or time zone you're in. There's going to be a stream tomorrow. You can go look at Brianna Migliaccio's streams. I'm going to be on it, so happy to join you there. We're going to talk about a lot of questions that people have been asking about Anchor, and not only Anchor, but like Solana development in general. I'll probably do some more Anchor bug issue busting then. Trying to do a little bit of this every single day. Maybe not on stream, but sometimes on stream, especially if I have someone with me. It's a lot more fun. But the idea is we're trying to get these issues under control, so it's a lot easier to maintain this repo. And then we can start running very, very quickly on Anchor in general. Yeah, so I think we've gotten good progress. Let's see how many issues do I have left. We have 318. So I got roughly about 30 issues done, 30 or 40 issues. So it's about 10% every day, 10% more. So yeah, I will see you tomorrow if you join the stream. But anyways, thank you all for joining. And if you want to help out with anything on Anchor, there is, let me share my screen again, actually. Hold on, just give me a moment. Gotta love it whenever this kind of things happens. All right. So if you want to help out with Anchor, right? If you go to the Anchor repo, so we'll go to the Anchor repo. If you want to help out with Anchor, this would help out dramatically. And you go look at the label as investigate. I need help figuring out if these issues are still real issues. This requires some test cases, some code, etc. In order to figure out, is this issue still an issue? It would be greatly appreciated if people could help me out on figuring out if these are real issues still. If not, I got to go figure this out at some point later date. But otherwise, thank you everyone for joining, and I will maybe see you tomorrow.